Just for that, Monday was quite a back-to-back day and I didn't get a chance to get into the studio here and just move my mic out of the way and record this. So as I'm putting this live into all the social media platforms, it really comes from the fact that I'm seeing so many people get to the point during these challenging times of having to make really important decisions. And over the years of being in my own business, I've made lots and lots of decisions, and I had to learn how to make better decisions, because the decisions that we make have a clear impact on the success of our business. And that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit in today's video. See you in a moment. Now today I want to talk about two critical tools when it comes to making business decisions. The first one is the business plan. The one-page strategic plan is the one I use. I give full credit to Verne Harnish and his book Mastering the Rockefeller Habits, because I've used that plan for a number of years and I've always used it to make my decisions against. And what I've realized is that those decisions really are about, does this thing I have in front of me, does this concept, this idea, this shiny new thing, or this problem that I have, if I come up with a solution and make a decision, does it move me through my plan or does it move me away from my plan? And that really is what today is about. You know, do I stick and don't make the decision, don't decide to go ahead with it, or do I actually move forward? Okay, do I keep at it? I've got that the wrong way around, sorry. Do I stick and keep at it and push on and make the decision against the plan? Or do I quit and say I'm not doing that and I make the decision not to move forward because it doesn't serve my plan? So the first thing I would say to each of you watching this and listening to it, if you've got a critical decision to make or a small decision to make in your business, hold each and every decision up against the business plan. Whether you're using Verne's one-page strategic plan, whether you're using somebody else's alternative, whatever it is, make your decisions against your plan. The other thing to think about when you're really sat there, wondering what you do, sometimes those decisions are harder, and they are actually, do I keep going with this? Do I keep going with this idea? Do I keep going with this business? Do I keep going with this concept? Do I keep going with this team? And sometimes we do have to make the decision of, do I stick with what I've got and keep going on? And I keep working in the trenches and I keep pushing on, or do I quit? Do I walk away from the team? Do I walk away from this idea? Do I walk away from this concept? Do I walk away from this business? And to help me do that, one of my early coaches, Stuart Ross, gave me a great little book. And it is a tiny little book, but it's a powerful book by Seth Godin. Hopefully, Seth, if you ever listen to this, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. And the book is The Dip: When to Stick and When to Quit. And what he talks about in this book is the fact that some of the most successful businesses, Richard Branson of Virgin, with HMV, he made the decision to quit. There are times in our business life and our business journey where we do have to make decisions that we're going to just not push ahead with this anymore, whether it's the idea or whether it's the business overall. And we do have to make a decision that, do you know what, even though I'm in a dip, I know I'm going to push forward with this. And I'll give you an example of this as well. So, I took some advice from my accountant and from my bank manager some years ago when I had a construction business, and we'd lost a huge client. They were about 30% of our revenue, and it just stopped within a couple of weeks. And I went to these people for advice and guidance, and their advice was, you just need to shut the business down. You need to wind up. You need to walk away from it. It's the best thing to do. And I decided that I wasn't going to do that because I believed in the tenacity of my team. I believed in the ability that I had to get more work in. And I pushed forward. And within 12 months, not only had I filled the hole, but also that this client had left, what I also did is I increased turnover and I increased the net profit levels. And when I met my accountant and my bank manager 12 months later, they were like, wow, how did you do this? And I did it by looking at a very clear list of the things that I was going to do and the things I wasn't going to do. I looked at that business plan still, and I made better decisions. I made better decisions of what I was going to do and what I wasn't going to do. So even though we might have a big decision we've got to make, we then still underneath that have to make really good, quick, instant do's and don'ts. Very informative do's and don'ts. Very clear do's and don'ts that meet with the plan. The other thing is I asked lots of questions. I asked the team, how do you think we can best get out of this? I asked other advisors, I asked other peers, I asked my coach at the time. I asked lots of questions that, I'm going to stick at this. I'm going to push forward with this business. What do I need to do and what do I need to become to make this work? Okay. And they're the questions, what do I need to become? Not just what does everybody else need to do? What do I need to do and what do I need to become to get this to work? And those things are really important things that I learned when I was looking at growing that business and hitting those turnover levels back and thriving in a time when everybody else was telling me to quit. Okay, and those two tools, the one-page strategic plan by Verne Harnish and that book, The Dip by Seth Godin, those two really helped me make much, much better decisions. And of course, that's why I'm so passionate about the Facebook groups that I have. We all have to make better decisions, and we can use the peer groups that we have. You can use the Facebook group that I have, the one for coaches and the one for ambitious business owners. You can use those groups to bounce things around, to ask questions, to make better decisions. And of course, you can listen to my Business Success and Coffee podcast. And if you want to be a guest on that, there are a few slots left before we bring this series of 250 episodes to a close. So if you want to join the Facebook groups that I have and you want to bounce things around with other people just like you and with me, then please message me directly or put a comment below where you're watching this video now. And if you want to be a guest on the podcast, just go to coffeewithsimon.com. And of course, if you want to listen to the podcast, then just go to any of the platforms and search for Sterling's Business Success and Coffee podcast. I hope this has given you a little bit of an idea of making those decisions and the tools that we need to use to make the decisions of whether we stick and we push on with things or whether we quit, whether it's the small decisions we have to make or the big decisions. That same process of stick or quit is absolutely vital, that we learn how to implement that tactic to make better decisions. Let us know what decisions you've made where it's had a big impact on you and your business by making a better decision. Share your stories of decisions as I did earlier on. And of course, listen to the podcast and reach out in the Facebook groups. I've got one for business coaches if you're a business coach listening to this, and I've got one for ambitious business owners as well. Both groups are there to help you make better decisions. They're completely free and there's very little sales pitch in there at all from anybody. And as always, I look forward to seeing you. It won't be a Monday's Moment next week because it's a public holiday, but I'll see you in a couple of weeks for another Monday's Moment. Bye for now.